I have one last question here from Hillgrove cross-country coach Jonathan Gambrell. He says, how would you envision using Stryd pods for an entire high school team, just for the top runners, try for the whole team to use them, but how would you maybe see in a current climate how a high school coach could use Stryd to their advantage?
Well, to some degree, it depends upon the financial capacity of that district. If you have you have upper middle or upper class parents that can afford it, then yes. I think because it's not, we're talking about a technology that's hundreds of $1,000s have been put into developing, so they can't give it away free. Okay, but if you have the capacity to buy the power meters, I think it's absolutely wonderful for an entire range of abilities on the team. For one thing, you can, as a coach, dial in. You can connect, I should say. You can connect your concepts that you're trying to teach them about, for example, running really, truly easy on your easy days, to some actual numbers. You can show, for example, the kid on the team that's a 24-minute 5K runner that they're running at 80% of their max aerobic power on their easy days when they should be running 60.
Right.
Because the power will tell you. And you run out in the grass course or you roll in the undulating course. Jonathan Gambrell is not only a really good coach in Georgia, but he's also a chemistry teacher. I happen to know Jonathan because he's a level 3 USATF endurance coach as well. But he may send his kids out in the rolling hills around Atlanta, and he can show the kids with the power meter that, look, you were running about 10% too fast.
Right.
Your power. I got instant data here that shows, after you get home and upload, it looks like you were running at a tempo pace. You were supposed to be running easy. Okay. So we need to slow you down. I'm going to figure out ways. If I'm putting myself in Jonathan's shoes, I'm going to find ways of slowing down you guys so that you do what's appropriate, relatively appropriate. See, the top kids on my team, they really should be running 7:15 a mile because their power shows that they're running at 60% of their max aerobic power. Their power data shows it. But you guys are running 8 minutes a mile, lagging behind them, and you're running at 80%. You're way too fast. I'm going to set up some mechanism to measure it. So I'm going to set up a half-mile loop or a mile loop for easy runs. And you're going to come by, and I know what and you're going to be able to look at your watch and see what your power is, and you're going to yell it out to me. And you better be close within 5 watts of where you're supposed to be. Jonathan and I can talk about this, but we can do equation conversion and watts per kilogram and tell you what exactly the pace would be on that particular course, whether it's undulating or not. But the power will help guide how you do things, whereas the GPS may not be entirely appropriate.
Right.
But the power can also be a great tool for helping teach the concepts to those high school kids.
Right.
Look, you're supposed to be around 60%. Okay, now we're doing CV. You're supposed to be around 90%, not 98%, 90%. And then he can teach the concept because Jonathan understands this, that the 90% is really improving the number of mitochondria you have, the amount of enzymes they have, the ability to process available oxygen. We're targeting the fast intermediate muscle fibers. When we start going up here to 97, 98%, our major emphasis then is the heart. We're trying to improve the heart's capacity to pump blood, but you don't need to do that very often. A little goes a long way. It's sort of like salt in your food. A little goes a long way. We don't need a lot of VO2 max. So let's not do 97, 98% for these repeat thousands. Let's dial it back to the power you're supposed to have. All right. You're supposed to be running 16 watts lower than you are right now, because that will develop the aerobic ability of fast intermediate fibers without crushing you. And you'll be able to have several weeks in a row of uninterrupted training, and you'll get stronger and stronger, and your aerobic ability will get better and better because you'll notice it in the race that you don't slow down as much.
in a high school athlete might even be able to, let's just say you race every 1 to 2 weeks, you might be able to help that athlete understand that they might be improving over the course of the season, but maybe a course is harder and their time is 20 seconds slower, but
Exactly.
you their watts
Exactly.
going up by 0.15 versus 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
I mean, I totally stand by your point of illustrating to high school kids is a hard thing to get across, like the subjects of, how they train or how a coach wants to help athletes understand training and stuff. But I think that, yeah, that's a great point to help the athletes understand from the coach's perspective too.
Well, in the South where Jonathan's located, not only do they have variations on their course profile, just like other places do. There are some locations around America where the courses are mostly flat because there are just not that many hills.
Sure.
But in Jonathan's case, they might go 1 week to a rolling golf course, right? And it's 83 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
And then a week later, they're running on a course there's a course down there that's really challenging. They use it for the state meet. It's really big hills. And they may run the athletes may only run 17:12, let's say, instead of 17 minutes.
Sure.
And they think that they're getting worse.
Right.
And the normal coach, the one that doesn't understand these little nuances would say, you need to concentrate more. You need to, when it gets tough. Well, Jonathan knows, no, that's not the case. It's a hillier course. Now with Stryd power meters, he can prove, look, you actually averaged 7 watts higher on this course, even though you ran 12 seconds slower.
Right. It was
that
a better
tells us, if you do a little bit of the math, you actually ran 24 seconds faster than you did the previous week if you were to run on the same course.
Right. Totally.
And if the weather's there, and that's a factor, that weather changes down there, it's 91 degrees 1 week and 83 another, that can be factored. And you can look at the book that I co-authored with Pete McGill and Melissa Breyer. I got it, I think it's page 56. You can see you can convert, right, what it is by heat index at 52.5 degrees. That's optimal. Well, you're 75 1 week and you're 92 another week. Well, if you look at the chart, you can see, okay, that's a 17-second differential.
Right. Exactly.